I've been doing quite a lot of short videos, just wee snippets of my journeys and things. And I've had some people asking, to do longer videos and just to introduce the boat and myself and a bit what the channel's about. So I thought I'd do something a wee bit longer today. I think the story is that although I'm experienced with powerboats and things, I've got zero experience with sailboats. Until we had this mad idea of buying ourselves a sailboat and using it like a caravan on the sea basically, so that we could go on our own adventures and island hop and things like that. And eventually, once I'm experienced, go over to Norway and other places in Europe. So yeah, I mean that's a long way off. I can't, at this stage I can't even remember half the names of things on a sailboat. I mean, I'm still at the stage that sheets are things that go in my bed rather than on a mast, So I think if you're one of these people that need everything to be called its proper name and proper term and things, I'm probably going to upset you, certainly for the first few years. But this is our boat here. She's a 1972 McWester White, and she's needing a bit of clean up, and she's needing a few wee holes patched and some TLC, and I'm going to do a wee bit of modernising on her. She's currently sitting without her masts because they're up getting serviced and repaired. She sat for, I think it was 3 years out of the water, and this is her just back on it. So I'm going through everything a bit at a time, and I'm going to video the journey to let me see where I've came from and where I'm going to, and as a diary of our adventures. I bought her in North Uist and sailed her over to Gairloch, so that was our first adventure, and I think I realised then that actually I'm already addicted. It was fantastic. I spent a few days just preparing her, sitting on the sands, and then I sailed her over the space of 2 days. Well, 1 day and 1 night, because we got into Dunchoon Bay and there was confused water and there was a swell of about 2 metres, and I lay in the back cabin trying to get asleep there for about 2 hours, and every time the swell went up and then down, I got back up and ended up bumping my head off the ceiling and things like that. So I decided just to come over in the night, but we got there. As I said, she's needing a wee bit of TLC. You see all the woodwork and things, it's all needing sanded down and repainted. The anchor's needing some attention. The rope at the bottom of it certainly was starting to rot. But to me, as I said, she's absolutely beautiful. Speireag is Gaelic for sparrowhawk, so that's her name. There's a lot of wee bits and pieces that I'm going to do. I suspect because of the direction she was sitting for 3 years, this has been coloured by the sun, so I'm going to get that replaced. And as you can see, this has been marine ply. It's been painted over. So that's going to get sanded down, and I'm actually going to put fiberglass over it. And then I've got the 2-pack paint coming for it. This is a ketch as well, so she's got the back mast here as well. From what I understand, the ketch is actually really easy to solo sail, and it's good to learn on. And she's got the twin keel, so she'll actually sit quite happily in the sand, which is another big thing for us, because we live, as I said, in Gairloch, and we want to go out to Skye and the Outer Hebrides and up to Shetland and things like that. and we just want to sit her on the beach and dry her out overnight and then go back out with the next tide kind of thing. There is as I said, there's a few bits that's needing updated. I've already got a few bits and pieces for her, and there's a few bits that's needing oiled. But this is all stuff that we can do as we go along. As you can see, this is definitely needing a wee sand down and a paint and a seal. Although I love this compass, I am going to replace it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the compass itself, but I've got a newer one that, you know, it's a bit better, and I use a lot of apps like Navionics and Navily and things like that as well. So, she's needing a wee bit of work, but I think the previous owners have really loved her, and taken great care of her. So I'm lucky in that sense. I mean, most of what's needed is cosmetic, and as I said, there's a wee leak just over in here, and then there's one inside. I think that's more coming from the metalwork in the stanchion. I think it's just condensating. I mean, there's a wee plotter that goes in here. It's quite an old one, so I've got an updated version of that. And although I will, as I said, I'm going to remove this compass. I have another compass that's better, but I've also got an updated fish finder, because the one that we've got is a wee bit past it as well. It likes to tell me that we're at 30 metres depth when actually we're at 130 metres depth and things like that. But this is just a quick introduction, and I will have to get used to the head heights in the boat. I think I'm going to end up battering what's left of my brains out. This here, we'll get into that another day. That was complete. We'll talk about that one another day once I've fixed it. Anyway, I'll go up to the masts and I'll give you a look round about them. This here is the masts and the booms and things, and there's a roller furling in there as well. I've got it all tied together because we brought it off the boat with the forklift, and obviously you can't see too much just now because it's -8 and it's been snowing. But everything's going to get taken off them, all the rigging and everything, and it's all going to get serviced. I've got new pulleys and things here, and I'm actually, I don't know if you see that there, see where it's worn through with years. I'll actually weld another loop onto it there. The old weather station was taken off the top of it here, so I'll get a new one for that, and I've already got a new LED bulb for the mast light. But although it looks a bit green and algae, it's actually in really good condition, and all the sails came with the boat. I mean, we were really lucky to get this boat. It was at a price that I could afford, and the amount of things that came with the boat. The guy that I bought the boat off, he was an absolute gentleman, and I mean, his dad had had it for years, so luckily he knew a good bit about the boat. But aye, it's going to be a project over a few years, and it's going to take me years to learn things properly, learn how to sail, get out of habits of using power boats and fishing boats and things. But I love the way already that when you turn the engine off and it's just the sails and just that peacefulness and quietness. Usually boats, for me, it's all about huge engines and loads of noise and things like that. But aye, I think it wasn't something I'd ever planned to do before, but it's definitely something I'm doing now, because I think as I said, I'm a bit addicted to it. Now, my videos, as I've said in my Facebook post, my videos won't be these highly polished, super serious sailing videos. They'll be a wee bit rough and around the edges, and you'll get to see all my mistakes, of which I guarantee there will be many. And you'll get to see all the fun and hilarity that ensues with me fixing up this beautiful wee sailboat. Well, technically she's a motor sailor, but aye, to me she's beautiful. And she actually brings hope. Hope of a lot of adventures. Hope of some freedom just to go out and get peace and quiet. It'll allow me to go fishing. I mean, I've got a small Shetland, which I'm sure will appear in the videos at some point. I use that for fishing close by, but I can go out on fishing trips. So aye, I'm really excited, and I'm trying not to waffle on too long. But aye, if you think it's something you'll enjoy, subscribe and follow along and watch her as she gets painted and modernised and goes on adventures.